Trio Cash Cups have been officially announced and they're starting tomorrow. I'm going to talk about what's going on, what's the format, who's playing with who, and why they're starting so late in the day. This has people really upset for what is a super exciting announcement. I also want to talk about the Fortnitemares update happening in a few days, along with the live event and why this is going to be one of the biggest updates in Fortnite history. There's a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it. Let's kick off with the biggest news. Trio Cash Cups coming back, and not just coming back this season, coming back this week. They start tomorrow, and you're probably thinking, Aussie, there's already a reload cup on. Yeah, there is now Trio Cash Cups and Reload Cups on Friday and Saturday every single week. Now, this leads to, unfortunately, one of the biggest problems with the Trio Cash Cup, which is the start time, which is just ridiculous, but I'll get to that in a second. So the Trio Cash Cup is being added. It's a 2-round tournament. First round will be on Friday, second round on Saturday, with the top 198 teams from round 1 making it to round 2. Now, 198 sounds like a really weird number, and honestly, it is, but there's a lot of rumors that it's actually meant to be top 33 teams make finals, which is 198 teams across all 6 regions. Because if you go in game right now, it shows that 198 people make finals, but then also some of the information is displaying top 33. So I don't know if it's meant to be set lobbies or not yet. I could see either working. Top 198 teams would obviously then be 6 lobbies, which isn't going to be set lobbies, but then only the top 25 teams make money, or it's going to be set lobbies with top 25 teams making money, which is kind of like how the Duo Cash Cups run. So honestly, I don't know which one it is. The information's all over the place because Fortnite has added these so last minute. It's kind of confusing. So just keep an eye out. It's going to be either of those. But like I said, top 25 teams make money, and first place on EU and NA makes $12,000. Not a small amount of money. These aren't just some random Trio Cash Cups they threw on for the sake of it. They are major tournaments every single week. But unfortunately, like I said, they're being placed after the Reload Cups. The Reload Cups were previously 2 rounds. They've moved them down to 1 round. So 1 round, 7 games, but it's now 1 point per elimination. So the Reload Cups have gone from being full heal-off placement simulator to absolute W key fest. I don't really think anyone's going to care too much about the Reload Cups compared to these Trio Cash Cups. They're still a good way to get earnings. They've made the Squads Cup no longer a victory cup. It's now just a regular Squads Reload Cup with money for placement, but we'll see how that plays out. But because they're now trying to run the Trio Cash Cups after them on NA, for example, the Trio Cash Cup starts at 10:30 p.m. for the East Coast. You're playing until 2 a.m. if you want to play this tournament and you live on the East Coast of NA. Obviously, NA always has the biggest issue with these massive time zones because West Coast is so much earlier than East Coast, but other regions like EU, Asia, OCE, they're all still going until really late in the evening because, again, they have to play after a tournament that's already on. I'm super excited to see Trio Cash Cups announced. I think they're going to be stacked. Everyone's so excited for them. I really would have rather them just maybe canceled one of the Reload Cups, and I don't really like them canceling tournaments. Reload has been a massive success for the game regularly in just pubs and ranked, but for tournaments, it's always been a bit of a nightmare. The tournaments have never really felt that substantial. No one's really cared about them. The game mode just doesn't really work, and I respect them trying to make it work and trying to fix it and updating it. It just hasn't really hit the mark, but now the fact they're keeping them on and running the Trio Cash Cups after them is a bit strange. I would either just cancel them altogether or make the Trio Cash Cup the more important tournament first, and then anyone who wants to play the Reload Cup after that. Obviously, there's going to be a few diehard Reload fans who aren't happy with that, but at this point, there is going to be a huge chunk of the competitive audience who just can't play Trio Cash Cups because they're just way too late. I know you guys are probably thinking in the comments, Aussie, you haven't talked about any of the new trios, who's formed, who's Clicks playing with, what's happening. I don't really have any more information for you. I think because the Trio Cash Cups got announced with such a small heads up, I think most of the pros are just in the DMs right now figuring out who they're going to play with, and they're going to use the Cash Cup as a way to test out their trio and figure out if that's going to be their official trio. We still, again, don't really have an FNCS most likely until like January or February of next year. So it's like 4 months away. So most of the pros aren't going to be like hard locking in their trios like they normally do when FNCS is coming up. So what I'll probably do is make a video after the first Trio Cash Cup to talk about who played with who and who's looking the best and whether I think they'll be official and stuff like that. But right now, I don't really have much to offer other than the fact that we have 100% confirmation that it is going to be MMM, Mr. Savage, Mongrel, and Marius. But outside of that, there's not really any new trios that are official at this point. Next week is our first week at actually looking at a different type of Siphon we've never seen before. 40 effective health just felt like the regular Siphon we're used to, but just a little bit weaker, but still amazing. Next week, we're going to kick off the 25 health, 25 shield, which is actually the Siphon I think they're going to go with, because I think Epic wants Siphon in the game, but they want a weaker version of it. We'll have to wait and see. I really, really hope they go with the current version though, because old Siphon is just so perfect. Outside of the trio cash cups coming back, this week was a little bit boring as far as the update. We had a major update, everyone was super excited for the Fortnitemares stuff, and nothing happened. But you probably noticed there's now a timer in-game for a mini event, and apparently according to leakers, this is gonna be one of the biggest mini events we've ever had. So it's not like as big as a new season or new chapter event, but it's a lot bigger than like the little mini events we've been used to, like just having, you know, Pandora's box come out of the ground and that's it. We are basically going to be getting a new NPC on the map. We're going to be getting Mephisto. Now, I'm not going to do an entire lore breakdown, but if you don't know why the devil is coming to Fortnite, I'll give you like a slight recap. So basically, Dr. Doom loves his mum. His mum's died. He is now going to be making a deal with the devil to try to bring her back. And it looks like that's going to go south, and Mephisto, the devil, is going to lead to the new season. It's going to be going back to OG Chapter 2 Season 1, which is happening in a few weeks, and this event is going to start bringing this about. So it looks like that this mini event is going to kick off the Fortnitemares for the year. And I know most of you guys probably thinking, oh, Aussie, who cares? Fortnitemares always sucks. And it does. Usually, this is looking like one of the biggest Fortnitemares we've ever gotten. And I'm talking going all the way back to the OG Fortnitemares. This is going to be massive. Kicking off with the fact that Mephisto is going to be an NPC on the map. Now, I'm guessing he's not going to be in competitive like most of the NPCs, but he could be like a boss, so maybe he will be, I don't know. But according to HypeX, he's going to have some crazy perks, and I love this idea. So instead of buying things off him with gold, like buying a rift or hiring the NPC, you have the option to offer 20 health to receive a random weapon. I don't know how random this is going to be. This is going to be extremely funny for content and memes, but it gets crazier. You offer 40 health and you can receive an augment. We don't even have augments anymore, so I have no idea how that's going to work. That is going to be extremely OP if that's the case. Or offer 99 health and reboot your entire squad. Now, this is super cool. You're literally doing deals with the devil. Rather than gold, you're actually bargaining with your own life, with your health. Super cool to see how this plays out. I don't think it's going to be in competitive, but what will be in competitive is some major map change. Now, I've seen lots of things from leakers up to saying there's going to be 6 new POIs. There's going to be a whole bunch of landmarks. I don't fully believe that. I know we are going to get at least 1 new POI. You can see it in the official image for Fortnitemares. You see in the background. Rumors are this is actually Brawler's Battlegrounds. It's going to be overtaken with vines and become very, you know, Halloween themed, which I think is going to be super cool. So we're at least getting 1 major new POI. We're also getting a new mythic, and it's called Boom Billy, and it's literally Saw. So if you ever watched Saw, you know Billy on the tricycle, he is now an item. I'm guessing he's also going to be a skin. I think it's more his tricycle that's the item. Basically, you're spawning a Billy bike with 100 health that's going to follow a target and explode on them. I don't know if that's going to go in competitive, but if it does, it sounds pretty OP. It's not the only new item coming back in the Fortnitemares update. If you look at this image more closely, you'll see the Witch's Broom, which is one of my favorite items of all time. It's basically just the reskin silver surfboard. They brought it back a few times. I love it. It's one of the most fun, I think, skillful mobility items in the game. I really hope this does go into competitive. It'd be super, super fun. You also can see the pumpkin launcher in the background, so RPGs coming back. You also have what is, in my opinion, one of the worst shotguns of all time. I can't even remember the name of it. It's the one that shoots the wooden stakes. It is just such a useless gun, but looks like that's probably coming back again, which makes sense. It's a Halloween update, but the only main strength of this is the fact that it did extra damage to vampires, which was Kato Thorn. We don't even have a vampire now, so I just don't know why this gun's in the game. No one liked using it, but whatever. Again, I'm sticking to the positives, and it looks like we might actually be getting potentially a new melee weapon with Leatherface. Leatherface is a skin that's coming out, and he's holding a chainsaw. This could just be a pickaxe, or it could be an item. We're not entirely sure yet, but we are definitely getting some crazy content with this Fortnitemares update. This update looks like it's going to be so big. Epic actually moved the new trio cash cup they've just added so it doesn't fall on this day. So every single day going forward, like I told you, you are going to be having the trio cash cups on the Friday and the Saturday. But just for this week, they've actually moved it so it doesn't take place on the day of the Fortnitemares update. But something that does take place on that day is the $250,000 LAN event the Milk Cup. If you guys have been following the female competitive scene, there's been a whole bunch of qualifiers leading up to this massive LAN event, and this mini event and the Fortnitemares update is launching like 2 hours before the LAN event starts. So the girls are going to show up, sit down, get ready for LAN, and their POI might not longer exist anymore. They might have entirely new items. There might be RPGs. There's now going to be a mythic tricycle in the game potentially. I have no idea how that's going to go. It's going to be absolute insanity. I'm super excited to watch it because it's going to be hilarious if nothing else, but I definitely feel for the teams that are going to get griefed out of a chance at $250,000 because the biggest tournament of their year is taking place on the exact same day as this massive event and update. This isn't only the major event that has been leaked, by the way, as well. We also now have the event being leaked that's going to bring us into Chapter 2 OG. November 2nd, we're kicking off, going back to OG again. We've talked about this a whole bunch, but it's going to be Chapter 2, Season 1, 2, and 3. We're getting there because of whatever happens with this Halloween update. But one thing we now know, again, according to HypeX, is because there is going to be a second event that has 6 phases and a black hole. Now, if you guys don't know why that's such a big deal, if somehow you missed the black hole event, again, it was a while ago now. We definitely have people watching my videos who didn't live through the black hole. It kind of took over the internet. What happened was Fortnite unexpectedly went down for I think like 2 days. Everyone lost their mind. Everyone freaked out. It was kind of funny actually to see how addicted to Fortnite everyone was. Everyone flamed Epic saying it was a terrible decision. Why would you take your game down for 2 days? But it literally took over the internet. Everyone was talking about it and got so much hype when the game went live again. Well, apparently the next event is also leading to a similar thing. It might only go down for maybe half a day, 6 hours. It could go down for a week. I don't know. But for whatever reason, leakers are talking about the fact that we are going back into another black hole update. That could be crazy. It could be super exciting. And that could also be very, very frustrating if you plan to take time off to jump into OG Fortnite.